Hey YouTube, it's jurracmaster, and I've got a Kaijudo deck profile for you. This is going to be Water Dragons. Shoutouts to Carl Reddish, aka Thunder Sultan on YouTube, for coming up with the name and helping me test it, because I have very, very limited competition here where I am, and haven't been able to get too many good games in. So, thanks to him for helping me test this out. It's looking like a pretty solid deck. It beat him 2-1, and the first game was a pretty impressive comeback on his part. Zero shield comeback against a Hyperspeed Dragon deck that uses, fast attackers and hyperspeed fast attack kind of strategy. So, shoutouts to him on that. Pretty impressive deck. Go check him out if you haven't already. And I'm going to get into the deck profile. So, starting off, 2 Bolt-Tail Dragons. Sadly enough, it's not quite good enough to just have hyperspeeds. They don't always work perfectly for the, they're a big target, so you have to have something for late game when you don't have him. 2 Moorna, because Moorna just destroys everything. It's an armored dragon, can attack untapped creatures, all that kind of thing. Just really, really helps. 3 Bolgash Dragon, because this thing is amazing. 6,000 power for 6, already not too bad. It's double breaker, and yeah, it kills blockers. And the official ruling for anyone that doesn't know is the fact that when you attack, it kills the blocker first, so it gets around everything. Almost. 2 Tatsurion, for the same reason we had the Bolt-Tail Dragons. Tatsurion is still a double breaker, 6/6 double breaker, and it's got Fury Charge, so it can attack tapped creatures the turn it comes into the battle zone. So that's just another kind of turn 6 play I have when I don't have a Hyperspeed Dragon out for Tornado Flame reasons, or for just not getting them reasons, stuff like that. Things that kill them because they are a big target. So, all of that leading into the 3 Hyperspeed Dragons. What else can I say? Thing's amazing. 2 Gilaflame, just really, really good. It's good to have at least one in a fire deck. Just that element of being able to get past so many things and have it not be easily killed. It's really, really helpful to put in the deck. And it can help late game when you need to finish them off. If they've started to fight back with a control deck, you can kind of play that and a Comet Missile in one turn to win the game or something. 3 Barrage, because Barrage is amazing. I don't really need to go too much farther than the fact that Barrage is amazing. 3 Tornado Flame, because it's also the next best control kind of destruction card that fire has for just standard creatures. And 2 Comet Missile. I've got 3 Bolgash in here, so a 3rd Comet Missile would be kind of redundant. So just 2 for kind of the end game or very early game. Rarely play that in the middle. That's normally not a play I'd go to. So that wraps up the fire in this deck. Gonna go ahead and put the water in here, and that's just a 2 Civ deck, fire water, and I'll explain my reasoning for why afterwards. So I've got 3 Aqua Seneschal, really good draw power, and early game attacker, I guess. 3 Frogzooka, because I need blockers, and they stop Gilaflames and whatever else. 2 Fluorogill Manta, just because sometimes late game it's nicer to have something better than a Reef-Eye, and not costs as much as 4, so that way when you have maybe 7 mana you can play this guy and a Gilaflame and maybe save something. It helps quite a bit, plus it makes it so that this deck has 8 blockers instead of 6, which I like. Also just beats Reef-Eye if you don't have Reef-Eye until turn 3. You can charge the Reef-Eye and play the Fluorogill or something. 3 Reef-Eye, because it's still really good, and early blocker, can be spammed late game as well, in numbers. And to go into the final bit of the deck, the water spells, I have just 2 Crystal Memory. I feel like having a third one in here would conflict with too many other things I'd rather be doing at turn 4, such as setting up with a blocker or a Gilaflame or something. Just, typically I don't need these too much. It's nice to have it turn 3, or 4 rather, but I have other ways to get my cards, and I just find that it ends up going into the mana or just not being used for the most part. It's really only just when it's the perfect hand for it, in which case I got really lucky anyway. That being said, it is a really good thing to go Crystal Memory turn 4 into Hyperspeed turn 5 if you've already got a Bolgash Dragon in hand. That's really the only time I use it, is when I have a Bolgash Dragon in hand and I have something on the field already, or the opponent just hasn't started doing anything yet. 3 Logo Scan because what water deck is complete without it? It's just so good. And 2 Ice Blades just for little kind of removal of problematic low-level things. Like at the end of the game, when I've lost my Bolgash Dragon, and they have 1 blocker or 2 blockers or whatever, or, you know, if they have 2 blockers, I've probably got Bolgash Dragon to finish it. I can play the Ice Blades and then go from there. Things like that really help. So that's the deck. I'll try to remember to post the deck list in the description. If I don't remember, please remind me. But that's it. One last quick shout out to Thunder Sultan. Really helpful. He's got a lot to say about the game, and he's really informed on it, so it's good to have at least him to be able to help me out with my decks and get a second opinion on them, whereas I only face the same maybe 3 or 4 people, and that's it. Literally, I don't even get that many people most of the time, so I don't really have too much to test with or to even get games for you guys with, which I really regret that I can't do that, but I'll do my best to try to get a few duels recorded, but that's all I can do. So, thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you think about it. It's working really well for me, and the reason I switched and got rid of Nature is because I really needed the slightly better draw power, but Nature's got the draw power at this point that I needed. It wasn't a problem. The real problem was the lack of blockers, because the deck just wasn't going fast enough to compete with the people I'm facing, who just use really, I'd have to say, inconsistent rush decks that they're either hit or miss. They get all of their stuff and can just go off or not. It's kind of annoying to lose to a deck like that when they're just kind of hoping they draw the right card, and when they do, they do. It's just, a deck needs blockers to beat a deck like that. There's really no other way to control your way around it. So, yeah, that's the end of this. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.